So one of the things a lot of folks tend to overlook is the internal and external influencing factors that affect their strategic plans. And the internal factors are things such as stakeholders. Stakeholders or influencers, people that can affect your plans, can throw your plans off track. Either they control resources, they control people, they control money, they control time. They control things. So you have to identify your stakeholders so you're able to influence them effectively using the communication techniques that we've talked about before. The other internal factor you may want to consider is the company's strategic plan. What are they trying to accomplish? Are they trying to capture more market share? Or are they going to try and increase revenue? So when we increase revenue or have to capture more market share, that requires resources. You're going to have to spend more money on marketing. That's something that you may have to be involved in those negotiations for services. You may have to provide resources for the sales folks to get more training so they can be more effective as sales folks. One of the interesting things I learned recently was that training folks get a lot of training dollars. They get a lot of money invested in them in their training because they're directly responsible for the revenue of the company. Well, we as procurement folks are directly responsible for the profits of the company. In other words, the sales and the marketing bring the money in, and the procurement folks send the money out, so to speak. So we need that kind of training too. And the study showed, which was kind of surprising, was that sales gets a lot of training dollars and procurement gets very few, very few. So that's one thing we want to maybe consider as well, and we consider these internal factors something that we can actually control and change. And the final thing we want to look at is possibly staffing, looking at our staffing in the organization. If we're going to increase market share and increase revenue, we need more people. We need to see the staffing. Do we have the people to achieve these goals? And if we have the people, we know we can achieve these goals. If we don't have the people, then that's going to cost money also. We're going to go out there and recruit those folks. We're going to have to take the time to recruit these folks and train them. So we want to make sure we look at these things. So these are just a few examples. There are plenty of other internal factors that we want to look at, but these are just a few. And as you're going through your strategic plan, you can check these off, make sure that you've accomplished those, just to make sure that you've seen these things and at least consider them when you're creating your goals. Because you don't want to create a goal that has an internal factor that's going to make sure that goal is not, you're not able to accomplish that goal. If you know that up front, you're not going to spend time and resources trying to accomplish that goal. Instead, you can focus on the things that are going to help us be more successful. And we have external factors that we want to look at as well. We want to consider possibly the healthcare initiative being mandated by the government, that it may increase our cost, which is going to affect how we spend resources. But the other thing to consider is how it's going to increase the cost of our vendors as well. So their costs are going to go up, our costs are going to go up, and that's going to affect our supply chain and what we can purchase and what we can't purchase. Ultimately, those costs going up affect our customers, and that's our main focus, is how we continue to provide value for our customers in these times when we have to have things mandated for us. So some other external factors we want to look at are healthcare, interest rates, inflation, labor cost, as well as fuel cost. All of these things